Good afternoon. We'll now start. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There'll be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your faces in the video. As a reminder, after the pep talk, please take the online learning comb evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25 Olete certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a R.O. Hoson medical consultation, free, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Ready, set, two, one, two, three. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course on October 9, 2021. And then from October 23, 2021 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder. Samples of courses are shown here and health issue courses. May 17, 2025, last year, marks the start of year number 5 for R.O. Hoson Pep Talk. So malapit na mag-May, so we'll be starting on the 6th year by May 16 or 17, 2026. How long the pep talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. My pep talk today is entitled Oral Cancer Awareness. This is my contribution to the Philippine Department of Health Oral Cancer Awareness Month, which is on April. The empowerment objective is for the lay people to have a basic understanding, basic essentials, basic minimum understanding of oral cancers in their health management. So April, as I said, is Oral Cancer Consciousness Month, and as part of my personal contribution to the 2026 April Oral Cancer Awareness Month, I'm offering free consultation on April 14, that was last Tuesday, and on April 28, 2026 at 11 o'clock to 12 noon at Manila Doctors Hospital in my clinic at room 301. Okay? So for persons with possible oral cancer in which the symptoms are usually non-healing wounds and lumps on the mouth. So kung meron kayong kilalang mga pasyente na may problema sa bibig, na may non-healing wounds at may bukol doon sa bibig, ask them to see me for a free consult on April 28, the last day for free consultation. So please call 8522-4713 for booking for free consultation. So for this particular pep talk, the content will be the following. What is an oral cancer? How to recognize oral cancers? How to diagnose? What is the most common type of oral cancers? What are the causes? What are the incidence data of oral cancers in the Philippines? and what are the usual treatment modalities for oral cancers, and then what are R.O. Hoson's advice on prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment of oral cancers. Disclaimer, the R.O. Hoson Pep Talk contains my thoughts, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations culled from personal experiences as well as from the writings of other professionals. Let's start with the first topic, which is what is an oral cancer? Simply defined, oral cancer is mouth cancer or in Tagalog, cancer sa bibig. Cancer sa bibig. So, any of the following parts of the mouth or the oral cavity that is affected by a cancer is considered oral cancer. So it means that hindi isang lugar lang tinutukoy ng oral cancer but different parts in the mouth. So when there is a cancer in the lip, that's oral cancer. If there is cancer in the tongue, the front part, that's oral cancer. Okay. So the tongue is usually divided into the anterior, yung sa harap, saka sa likod. So yung harap lang ang considered as part of the oral cancer or cancer sa bibig. Yung nasa likod, 1/3 of the tongue is usually considered as another part of the anatomy of the throat, which is called oropharynx. Okay? So yung sa harap lang ang tinutukoy na oral cancer. Okay. Now, gums, sa gilagid, gums, pag may cancer dyan, that's part of oral cancer. Buccal mucosa, okay. And then, floor of the mouth, sa ilalim ng dila, no? And then retropharyngeal trigone, and this part of the doon sa malapit sa may mandible, sa jaw, no? And then heart palate, no? So any of these areas, if it's affected by a tumor or a cancer, is usually known as oral cancer. So when you say oral cancer, hindi lang isang lugar, no? Maraming areas ito. At usually isang lugar lang tinatamaan. Kuminsan, because of the growth, pwedeng from the oral cancer, mag-encroach yan sa floor of the mouth. So pwedeng 2 areas ang involved or even 3 kung pinabayaan nilang lumaki. So example, another one, baka dito retromoral trigone, tapos pumunta sa gingiva. That's 2 parts involved. So, but the 3 more common sites of oral cancers are the tongue, at ito pinaka-common, and then the buccal mucosa, and then the floor of the mouth. So, itong tatlong areas na ito. How to recognize oral cancers? Oral cancers are usually present with the following features. Ano yung mga presentation niya? Non-healing wound or ulcers for more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, ayaw gumaling, no? Now, you start suspecting baka oral cancer. Non-healing wounds sa lips, non-healing wounds sa tongue, gano'n, no? Now, the other presenting alert sign or warning is that there's a lump with a break in the mucosal lining. Okay. So may bukol siya, tapos may sira doon sa lining, yung pula, yung mucosa. Kung intact yung balot, usually hindi siya cancer. No? Okay. Usually, no? Pero merong exception to the rule. Pero kadalasan, yung mga cancer sa oral cavity, may bukol at merong na parang kinain na yung not balat but yung pula na coverage doon sa bibig. Then the other presentation, patches. Pwedeng red and white but usually white that persists for more than 2 weeks or more. And then thickening or parts of the oral cavity, but this can only be detected by feel, matigas, either by the feel of the patient, of a person, or by the feel of a doctor. So 4 usually presentation. Ang pinaka-common is non-healing wounds. Then number 2, the lump. No? Okay, may bukol siya, kitang-kita. and then patches, no? And then the last part, the last presenting warning is yung matigas, matigas. So these are illustrations, non-healing wounds for more than 2 weeks. Ito may sugat dito sa ito yung tongue, ito yung floor of the mouth na, no? Ayaw gumaling for more than 2 weeks. And then dito naman, sa tongue, sa dila, ito rin, may sugat siya, ayaw gumaling. So once you have these pictures, you suspect oral cancer. Cancer of the floor of the mouth, cancer of the tongue. Dito naman, may bukol. May bukol dito sa may gilagid, buccal mucosa. And then sabi ko, may break, may sira dun sa lining. Pag may sira ang lining, you suspect cancer. Okay. Dito rin dito, may bukol dito sa dila, no? At may break dito sa coverage ng dila, you suspect cancer. Okay. Patches, usually white, that persists for more than 2 weeks. Ito, puting white thickening, okay? Patches, no? Okay, puti. Ayaw mawala for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no? So you have to suspect cancer. A biopsy may have to be done in this case para to determine kung talagang cancer or baka infection lang or some other causes. And then thickening. Ito, medyo may konting may konting skin change, mucosal changes, pero may imagine lang niyo matigas dito. Okay. Pag may matigas dito in that area for more than 2 weeks, you suspect cancer. So how to diagnose oral cancers? Since the oral cavity, the bibig is readily accessible to visualization, nakikita kagad and inspection by the examiner and the patient. And since most of the oral cancers are surface lesions, nasa ibabaw lang, no? Like non-healing wounds, saka may mga bukol, may mga patches, no? Except for yung matigas na hindi nakikita, pero the rest are nakikita. So the diagnosis is based mainly on inspection. Sa tingin lang, masasabi na kung ano talaga yung kung may oral cancers or not. For those lesions located submucosally means sa ilalim ng coverage, yung pula, yung balot. No? Palpation is an aid, kakapain lang. So yung sinasabi kong thickening, wala kang makikita. So it's a must in the clinical diagnosis of oral cancer. So induration can be detected only by palpation. When you say induration, yung thickening. Makikita lang yon by madidetect lang yon with kung kakapain. Hindi makikita. But for the ulcerations, the buccal na break in the mucosa, and then the patches, kitang-kita. So, complete examination of patients suspected of harboring oral cancers entail inspection and palpations of both the oral cavity and neck. So, ang complete examination will be inspection muna, then kakapain, and then ang kakapain, not only the oral cavity, the bibig, but also the neck. Titingnan kung merong kumalat, kung may bukol sa leeg dito. Pag may kumalat, kung may bukol sa bibig at may bukol dito sa leeg, malamang cancer na rin yun. Kasi baka kumalat na siya doon sa kulani. Okay. So complete examinations entails examination of the mouth as well as examination of the neck. Okay. So examination of the neck is important not only in helping diagnose oral cancers but also in determining the extent of the disease. So kung meron na ritong kulani, ibig sabihin may kumalat na. So the latter has important bearing on both treatment and prognosis kasi kung may kulani dyan, usually ino-operan pa rin yan. And prognosis-wise, mas hindi maganda kasi may kumalat na. The definitive diagnosis, pathological diagnosis of oral cancers is arrived through a biopsy procedure. Yan ang pinaka-sure shot kung ano talaga. Sa tingin lang, more than 90% alam mo na, no? Pero if you want to be 98, 99% sure, then you get a biopsy. Since majority of the oral cancers are surface lesion, nasa ibabaw lang, no, a punch biopsy is most often used. So yung punch lang is kukuha lang isang parang ipipinch, pwedeng ipinch lang. But this one they use a special instruments na ipapunch lang. Ito, special instruments, papasok dito sa bukol, and then may konting sharp edges. Ito yung itong instrumento nito, and then makakat, and then mapapasama dito. So parang pinipinch lang. Parang di, parang what do you call pinch? Okay. Parang dinudukot lang, no? Okay. So radiological examination is done in patients with oral cancers near the mandible. Pag meron, let's say, sa gingiva, sa may gilagid, na parang dito, sa gilagid, malapit sa buto, usually in a X-ray, para makita kung may involvement yung bone. No? So ito rin, no? May bukol dito sa malapit sa gum. No? So kailangan magpa-X-ray, kaya nakita nito may involvement of the mandible. Kasi ito kailangan tanggalin din ito during the treatment. No? So what is the most common type of oral cancers? There are many specific types of oral cancer depending on the histopathology. Maraming klase yan, specific type. However, the most common type is what we call squamous cell carcinoma. So tandaan na lang yung squamous cell carcinoma. Ito yung 99% squamous cell carcinoma. The others, melanoma, magsususpecha lang tayo melanoma kung maitim yung bukol na nakikita natin sa bibig. And then lymphoma, mahirap i-differentiate. And then carcinoma of the salivary gland in the oral cavity. But these are not so common. And what are the causes of the oral cancers? The following are the hypothesized, theorized, and causes of the or risk factors for oral cancers, particularly squamous cell carcinoma. Number one, tobacco. Tobacco, either smoking or vaping. Yung vaping nagkakos din ng oral cancers. Inverted cigarette smoking, yung nasusunog na sigarilyo na sa loob ng bibig. Then gaping or chewing nganga or betel nut concoction. Maraming pa rin gumagawa niyan, especially sa probinsya. Then alcohol. Then poor oral hygiene. Ill-fitting denture. Pag hindi maganda yung pagka-fit, usually nasusugatan palagi yung gums. No? Chemicals in food intakes, yung mga nitrites, yung processed foods, mga nitrites and nitrates can be a possible cause for oral cancer. Human papillomavirus infection, usually oral cancer, pero din sa oropharynx. Okay. Pwede din sa mga oral cavity. Then genetic mutations and genetic predisposition. So these are the 10 hypothesized causes for oral cancer. If number one, kung isang pasyente may oral cancer, tinatanong lang, ito, i-investigate. Do you smoke? No? Do you do inverted cigarette smoking, etc., etc.? Kung any of this is present, then we say that that's the cause. Kung wala nito, yung mga hindi nag-smoke, hindi nag-inverted cigarette smoking, hindi umiinom, good oral hygiene, no? Hindi masyadong kumakain ng excessive processed foods, no? Then we consider genetic mutation and also genetic predisposition as the possible causes by elimination na lang. So what are the incidence data of oral cancers in the Philippines? Oral cancers are more common in older people rather than on young people. But younger people can be affected also. Oral cancers are more common in males, but also females can also be affected. In the Philippines, the oral cancer is within the top 10. Dati-dati top 5, naging 10 to 15 na lang kasi tumaas na yung mga ibang cancer. Let's say breast cancer, yung mga colon cancer, tumaas na kaya inoccupy nila yung top 10. No? yung oral cancer bumaba na to 10 to 15. Pero kahit na bumaba, it's still common, no? So what are the usual treatment modalities for oral cancer? So just as with other cancers, the usual three modalities of treatment for oral cancers are the following: surgery, operation, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy. So surgery and radiotherapy, either singly, mag-isa, or in combination, are the two most common modalities being used in the treatment of oral cancers. Ito two most common. Usually surgery muna, then dinadagdagan ng radiotherapy. Surgery is used for resectable lesions. Resectable means yung matatanggal na malinis, na maganda, na may margin, good margin. And the surgical treatment consists basically of wide excision of the primary tumor. So wide excisions mean may margin, magandang margin para di siya umuli. Kung magagawa yan with the surgical treatment, then surgery is still the best. And neck dissection, yung sa may kulani sa leeg, nang ginagawa itong neck dissection. And then a reconstructive procedure, kasi pag may tinanggal, may uka, may bawas, may mga defect, then a reconstruction will have to be done. So radiotherapy may be as equally effective in surgery as surgery in patients with small oral cancer. Let's say 1 centimeter lang kung ayaw magpa-opera yung pasyente, although surgery is still the best, then radiotherapy may be as effective as surgery. Radiotherapy may also be used post-operatively after the operation as an additional form of treatment after surgery or as an initial treatment for unresectable lesions. Yung mga malalaki na tanggal pero may questionable, kasi malaki, baka pwedeng umulit, kaya dinadagdagan ng radiotherapy just for assurance na hindi siya umulit. And then for those with yung mga malalaking bukol na hindi kaya tanggalin ng operasyon muna, pwedeng i-radiotherapy para lumiit, no? And then after lumiit, saka operahan. So that's what is meant by initial treatment. Chemotherapy naman, in the past has been confined to recurrent and disseminated case, and the results have been very, very poor. Pangit ang results of chemotherapy, usually, no? But nowadays, chemotherapy is being used as an induction treatment for massive unresectable lesions. Yung mga malalaki na hindi kaya operahan, hindi suggested in radiotherapy, sinusubukan mo na yung chemotherapy. So ito yung tinatawag na induction. Parang sa breast cancer din. Kung malaking-malaki, kinikimo muna para lumiit. No? Induction chemotherapy. And then after that, kung lumiit na, this can be followed by either radiotherapy or surgery. Kung pwede nang tanggalin. So the aim of the induction chemotherapy is to reduce the size of the tumor prior to the institution of another cancer treatment modality. It's either radiotherapy or surgery. So what are my advice on prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment of oral cancers? Number 1, try to prevent the development of oral cancers. Avoid the hypothesized and theorized risk factors that are modifiable. So number 1 to 8, pwedeng i-modify. Number 9 and 10, mahirap i-modify yan. So, but try our best to modify this. Don't smoke, don't do inverted cigarette smoking, no nganga, avoid alcohol, practice oral hygiene. Yung mga dentures, make sure that you have regular check with your dentist para hindi siya palaging parang nasusugatan ng mga gums which can cause oral cancer. Chemicals, try to avoid processed foods. And then, of course, yung mga virus, human papilloma virus infections. But usually these are in those yung mga homosexuals, no? Now, avoid as much as possible, as having an oral cancer is no joke, because treatment, or even without treatment, okay, kung di magamot, it's very deforming. I'll show you samples, pictures later on. Okay. Very deforming ang mukha, ang bibig, and debilitating. in terms of speech. Mahirap magsalita, mahirap mag-swallow ng pagkain, laway, at mahirap yung malnutrition, nakukulang, and then kung minsan, pati yung paghinga, nahihirapan. Okay? Okay. Number 2, my advice is daily oral examination for any lesion of the mouth while brushing the teeth. So to catch cancers early, kasi oral cancers makikita kagad, may madaling ma-detect. So habang nagbabrush every day, tingnan na lang yung bibig for anything unusual. Look for any sugat that is not healing. Look for any lump. Okay? Look for any patches. Okay? So as I said, oral cancers are easy to recognize because they can easily be seen by the naked eye. Kitang-kita, unless bulag ka. If such be the case, they should be diagnosed in the early stage of the disease. Okay. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, majority are still diagnosed late because of lack of awareness primarily. Okay, iba, parang negligence, ayaw nila, no? Okay. As I said, as much as possible, avoid, because late diagnosis of oral cancer is no joke, very deforming, debilitating in terms of speech, swallowing, nutrition, breathing, etc. So, number 3 advice, go for early consult and treatment. Once you suspect that there's something wrong, go for early consult and treatment. Do not delay the consult and treatment. Okay. As I said, as much as possible, early diagnosis with late and treatment because it's very deforming, debilitating. Okay. So kasama yung death doon. So nakikita niya ito, pag this one is the cancer of the lip, no? Medyo malaki na ito. So kung opera nito, practically 1/2 of the lip will have to go, and then magiging deforming siya, no? And then magre-reconstruct pa yan. Kukuha ng mga balat, mga flap from the surrounding cheek, no? Ilalagay dito. So number 1, may deforming ang magiging result ng treatment. Number 2, yung pagsalita niya will be affected. And of course, yung pagkain pwede rin ma-affected. Okay. So ito, parang ito, another example, ito yung tongue cancer dito, andito, medyo malaki na. So we have to resect. So practically 1/2 of the tongue. 1/2, kalahati, no? So ito yung nakita niyo, may sugat, may bukol, ayaw gumaling, may break ng mucosa. Pag hiniwa namin, matigas yan, no? So after the operation, 1/2 na lang yung dila ang natira, no? So you can imagine the deformity and also yung hirap siya kumain, hirap siya magsalita, no? Okay. So this is an example of mga advanced na, medyo late na. So sana mahuli lang ng mga less than 1 centimeter, makikita na yun no? Okay. Ito, mga 3 or 4 centimeters na yan, medyo malaki. So kung inopera nito, kasama na yung panga, no? More so dito rin, very advanced na, okay? Even without the operation, very deforming na. So kung talagang operahan siya, matatanggalin kalating mukha niya. No? Again, ito, late na rin, may sugat dito na ayaw gumaling, napabayaan, yun, lumabas na, malat dito sa labas ng pink pisngi, no? Okay. So advanced na advanced. Dito, ganun din, dito sa lip, no, may bukol dito. So you can see that we have to get some mga samples, mga tissues na para itakpan lang, no, to reconstruct. At usually they end up with a tracheostomy kasi mahirapan sila huminga, may tracheostomy, which could be temporary or permanent, no? Depende. No? So summary takeaway, I have presented all these various topics. What is an oral cancer? How to recognize oral cancers? How to diagnose? What is the most common type of oral cancer? Squamous cell carcinoma. what are the different causes, what is the incidence data, what are the usual treatment modalities, surgery, radiotherapy, chemo, usually surgery and chemo and radiotherapy, and what are my advice for early prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of oral cancers. So takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on oral cancer. Knowledge is power. It gives power. Use the four Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions in the medical management of oral cancer. So with that, I end my pep talk today. I hope I have empowered you to have a basic understanding on oral cancers in your health management. In the future, baka karoon kayo, no, or yung relatives, pwede niyong turuan. No? So before we go to the QA reminder after the pep talk, please take the OLETE for Mastery of Learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I placed the link in the chat box. And then obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a free voucher for our on medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. And then feedback, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So let's now have a group picture taking before we start the question and answer and interactions. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay. Okay, right now, picture, everybody wants to show your faces. Phoebe. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, the floor is now open for questions, comments, suggestions, sharing of experiences, or even consultations. Kung meron kayong kilalang, kung meron kayong mga problema sa bibig, pwedeng isama ninyo sa consultation today. We still have 20 minutes. No? Okay. Anybody? Sinong may mga kakilalang merong oral cancers? Meron kayong kilala? Cancer sa dila? Cancer sa labi? Wala. So, wala kayong experience with oral cancers. So with this lecture, I hope you're enlightened somehow. No? Okay. So, sinong nag-smoke? Sinong nag-smoke? Be honest. Wala. Nobody
Wala,
is
Doc.
smoking. Ha?
Wala.
Wala. Very good. Ayan, ito yung mga disciple ko, hindi nag-smoke. So, walang nagnganganga. Meron kayong mga relatives na nagnganganga? Yung mga taga-probinsya?
Nanay ko, Doc, yung baliktad ng sigarilyo, pero umabot pa siya ng 85 bago namatay, pero hindi nagka-cancer.
Okay. Good. Paswerte niya.
Ang kinamatay niya na stroke
Stroke.
kasi mataas ang blood sugar, kaya ng chocolate.
Okay. Good. So kaya sinabi ko lang, theorize lang naman yun eh. Pero
Po.
yun naman na not all patients who yung inverted cigarette smoking nagkakaroon ng cancer, no? Pero yung mga nakikita namin na may cancer, usually may history sila inverted cigarette smoking or nganga, no? Okay.
Po.
So usually kasi pag 'di ba yung pag chronic irritation, yung na-irritate yung paraging nasusugatan, yung isang lugar,
Mm.
isang katawan, nagkakos ng cancer yun eh. Pag inverted cigarette smoking, di ba yung init na sa loob ng bibig, di ba? Sa
Opo.
init. So yun, pwede mag-cause ng cancer. Yung nga, ganun din. May mga line yun eh. No? Nasubukan na niyo kumain ng nga.
Di pa, doktor.
Dok,
Wala?
yung mother po ni Dr. Salonga, matagal nagnganga, pero hindi rin nagka-cancer, Dok.
Oo. Oo.
Opo.
So,
Iba naman ang kinamatay din.
okay. Kaya yung iba gusto magnanga kasi naniniwala, hindi sila naniniwala magkakos ng cancer, di ba? Sabi nila may mga health benefits. May pangpalakas ng katawan, pampainit sa katawan, di ba? Pag malamig,
Opo.
di ba?
Opo.
Oo. Pero nasubukan ko na nagnanga. Sinubukan ko once to mga 30 years ago. Nahilo ko. Ang lakas pala noon. Nakakahilo yun. May lime, may may betel nut, tapos may yung leaves, yung dahon, di ba?
Dahon, Dok.
May
Tsaka yung
dahon.
matigas na inihiwa nila, hindi ko alam kung ano yun eh.
Inihiwa,
Tapos
tapos
pupukpukin, tapos may
pupukpukin.
apog,
May
opo, may
apog,
apog, oo, yung
yung
puti.
puti, no? Yung puti, no? Ano pa yung
Tapos
isa?
ninunguya-nguya, Dok, pero niluluwa, hindi nilulunok.
Ngilunguya. Oo.
Oo,
Sabi nila,
ngunguya-nguya lang.
sabi nila, pumuputi daw ang ngipin.
Hindi, Dok, nagkakaroon ng kulay.
Lalong umiitim.
Hindi naman umitim kasi pustis yung ngipin eh.
Okay. Ayun. Yun. So, yung vaping, yan, madalas yung vaping pa ngayon, di ba? Marami na nagbe-vape, no? So, baka dumami naman yung oral cancer ngayon sa vaping, no? Alcohol, yung mga dentures, kaya kung minsan, try to avoid dentures also as much as possible. Take care of your teeth, no? Okay. Kasi wag isang kibot, pabunot ninyo, pasta na lang ninyo, no? Okay. Kasi pag dentures kasi nakasalpak sa gums, di ba? Pag nakasalpak sa gums, pag kumakain tayo, may pressure sa gums, so hindi natin iwasan everyday yan, may pressure kasi kumakain tayo araw-araw. So ang kakaroon ng ah, lalo na yung di maganda yung pagka-fit, di ba? Kakaroon ng sugat, no? Then eventually, pag nagkasugat, pa-check nyo kagad, no? Okay. So that's in terms of causes, no? Okay. So sana wala sa inyo magkaroon ng oral cancer. Okay. Ano pa? Surgery. Ang gumagamot nito, yung mga oral cancer, dalawang klaseng surgeons, no? May general surgeons na head and neck, saka ENT.
ENT, Dok?
Dalawa,
ENT.
no? May ENT, may head and neck, general surgeons na head and neck. Kasi general surgeons, malawak yung specialty ng general surgeons, no? So general surgeons, pwedeng head and neck, yung ginagawa ng ENT. Actually, nag-umpisa, yung general surgeons ang unang head and neck surgeons, eh, no? Bandang huli, naging tinawag ng ENT sarili
ENT
nila
na
head and
lang.
neck, no? And then sa thyroid, ganun din. Nauna yung
Opo.
general surgery bago yung ENT, no? Okay. So kung meron kayo mga oral cancer, pwede kayong mag-consult sa Either ENT or general surgeon. Ako, general surgeon ako. No? Hindi ako ENT. So, but I do head and neck cancers. No? Kaya lang, kung minsan ayaw ka na, medyo nakaka-depress kasi. Ang laki-laki tatanggalin. No? Dati-dati, noong 1985, marami akong ginagawa, lalo na sa PGH. Ang lalaki na. Talagang kalahating mukha, tinatanggal namin.
Ah,
Hmm. Okay. Any more questions? So, basta wag ang try to avoid oral cancers. Yun na lang. No? And then how to diagnose it? Basta may sugat na hindi gumagaling, no? At may bukol na hindi nawawala for 2 weeks or more, pa-consult na ninyo, no? Either a general surgeon, head and neck surgeon, or ENT, no? Okay? So, no more questions?
no more, Doc.
Okay. Kung wala na, we'll call it a day. We'll see each other next week. Okay. So, okay. So, may mga bago ba rito? Analea. Analea is still here. Okay. Okay. Meron isang last time na kumuha ng Olete, pumasa. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko ibibigay yung certificate niya eh. Anyway, I hope he can come back here kasi mali yung email address ang binigay niya eh, no? So, okay. So if there are no more questions, we'll call it a day. We'll see each other next week. Next week we'll talk about abscess. Yung pigsa. No? Okay. So I think it's very common kung anong gagawin sa pigsa, no? So yung mga may misconception kasi baka kailangan antibiotics all the way, no? Hinihintay pumutok, no? So, ika-clarify ko yung mga gamutan doon, no? Okay. So, there are
Okay.
Doc,
yeah.
Doc, may tanong po ako,
Oh, sige, pahabol.
pero
Sige.
not related to your today's topic po.
Oh,
Okay
sige.
lang po ba?
Sure.
Yung
Meron
kapitbahay
tayong 10
kasi,
minutes.
sige po. Yung kapitbahay kasi po namin na yung double mastectomy po siya, sabi po ng doktor niya, doon daw po galing yung heart disease niya ngayon. Kasi 10% daw sa mga na-ooperahan daw ng double mastectomy nagkakaroon ng heart disease. Totoo po ba 'yun?
Na-radiate ba siya?
Kompleto po, chemo tsaka radiation. Totoo kaya
Radiation.
po 'yun? Opo.
Kung na-radiate, ano klaseng heart disease?
Ko sinabi lang po niya nung isang araw dito po siya yung nagkaroon daw siyang sakit sa puso dahil daw dun. Yung sinabi ng doktor, yung oncologist niya. Hindi ko po alam.
Magaling na oncologist yun?
Hindi ko po, ewan ko po.
Hindi mo alam.
Kinuwento lang po niya sa amin eh.
Theoretically, pwede kasi pag kasi yung possible side effect ng radiation, hello? Yung radiation kasi tinatapat sa dibdib, di ba?
Apo?
So, andun yung puso sa likod, di ba?
Ah,
So, kaya yung possible side effect ng radiation is tatamaan yung puso at saka yung baga, no? Aside from
oh,
controlling. So, theoretical yon, theoretical, no? I mean, possibility, it's possible. Okay.
kaya pala
Pero
po.
depende nga kung anong type of machine, no, na ginagamit. No? Yung ibang machine, nakafocus lang dun sa medyo dun sa may bukol, sa chest wall lang. Okay. Ayun,
Oh,
Lance, sagutin mo.
Pwede rin dahil sa chemo. Mas likely baka dahil sa chemo yan than the radiation. Yung anthracycline, yung doxorubicin.
Yun. Sinabi ng doktor dahil sa radiation?
Hindi.
Hindi. Hmm. Wala po sinabi. Sabi niya dahil sa double mastectomy siya.
Because of double. Okay.
Opo.
So yun, pwede rin chemo, no?
Ah.
Pero yung surgery, hindi siya nagkakos ng ano, heart disease. Yung surgery.
Baka nga po doon saan. Chemo tsaka radiation.
Pero
Mas sa
usually
chemo.
usually temporary lang yun kung heart. Kung dahil sa chemo. No? Hindi natin alam detalya gaano katagal na siya nagkikimo. No? Ilang taon na siya?
Same age ko po eh.
Same
59 po.
59. Tapos, recently lang siya nagpakimo.
Matagal na po siya eh. Nakwento lang po niya kay nanay kasi dumaan po dito.
I-check lang. Pwedeng hiwalay. Kasi kahit na kung may breast cancer ka, pwede ka pa rin magkaroon ng ibang sakit eh. No? Na hiwalay, not related to the not related to the treatment. No? Okay. So, pwedeng related to the treatment, pwedeng hindi. No? Kung related to the treatment, kasi nag-chemo siya, pwede yun. Pwede nag-radiotherapy siya, pwede rin yun. No? Okay. Okay?
Thank you po, Doc.
Sige. Okay. No other questions? There are no more other questions. We'll call it a day. We'll see each other next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, Doc. Have a nice
Doc.
weekend
Thank you.
po.
Kayo rin ho.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Doc.
Bye-bye.